Lennox Lewis and Wladimir Klitschko have been going back and forth on Twitter. Lewis put out this tweet saying that he is dead against professional boxers competing in the Olympics. But Wladimir was quick to respond by saying, nonsense. As a matter of fact, all the pros lost in the Rio Olympics. A professional fighter is in a clear disadvantage if he fights in an amateur ring and under amateur rules. I've practically spent hundreds of rounds sparring with amateurs. I know what I'm talking about. So a pretty strong response from Klitschko. Lewis came back at him and said, there are levels to this. Are you trying to tell me that at your physical peak as a pro, you will be disadvantaged stepping into the ring for 3 rounds against an amateur fighter from a third world country who doesn't have the same training resources as you? I know I wouldn't be. And, you know, they continue to go back and forth. What's going on here? Is it just a case of a difference of opinion, or is there something deeper? Well, if we go back a few years, Wladimir Klitschko himself expressed interest in going back into the Olympics and trying to win a gold medal again. This article was from several years ago, I think 2016, and Klitschko was talking about his desire to win another Olympic gold medal. And this wasn't the first time that he'd mentioned this. He talked about it previously. So it had been a long ambition of his, and therefore he clearly didn't have any problem with professionals fighting in the Olympics. As I've spoken about in recent videos with regards to Golovkin and so on and so forth, among Eastern Europeans, they hold your amateur record and your Olympic pedigree in far higher regard than they tend to in the US, the UK, etc. As an Eastern European person said in one of the comments, in the comment section of one of my videos, he said that for a lot of Eastern European fighters, the pinnacle of their career as a boxer is winning Olympic gold. Their professional career after that is just the icing on the cake with a cherry on top. But the main achievement is winning that Olympic gold. You know, Wladimir Klitschko wanted to relive that. So I think there's an element of Klitschko defending his own position because, as I say, historically, he has expressed interest in fighting in the Olympics again. But I also wonder whether, because, you know, to respond by saying nonsense is a pretty sharp response by Klitschko, right? I also wonder whether he's kind of, you know, having a dig at Lennox because Lennox has been taking shots at AJ for so long. And AJ has revealed recently that the one guy in boxing who regularly calls him and reaches out to offer him advice and support and what have you is Klitschko. Not Lennox Lewis, but Klitschko, in terms of calling him behind the scenes and regularly talking to him. And maybe Klitschko feels like Lennox was, you know, out of line in the way that he's been going at AJ over the past, you know, couple years, 18 months. So maybe that's going on as well. Maybe it's Klitschko covertly as part of Team AJ striking back at Lennox because very few people actually do challenge Lennox in anything. But Klitschko certainly is in a position to do so because he achieved, you know, I don't want to say he achieved as much as Lennox. He achieved a similar amount. He was never undisputed, obviously, but he had a longer title reign and, you know, he did his thing. So, yeah, interesting back and forth between the two of them. I can't imagine Lewis will want to settle it in the ring. Wladimir Klitschko is far closer to his, you know, fighting best than Lennox Lewis is. He retired fairly recently, Wladimir Klitschko. Lennox Lewis retired a very, very long time ago. So I'm sure Lewis don't want that smoke at this point. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is this just a difference of opinion? Or has Klitschko taken this personally because of what he's previously expressed and potentially because he's secretly Team AJ? Let me know, people. It's happening. I'm out.